Hello people, what's up? Today I'm going to be hopefully showing you how to do a little bit of construction as well as some hacking and electronics. So today I am a civilian, well, gray tie leader, and we're in engineering right now. I have a few items here. It's the plat steel, metal, and wire, as well as should have been some glass around here. Let's see. There's the glass. And these are some main items you're going to be using to construct or deconstruct quite a few things. Also down here we have our belt, tool belt. It is filled with a screwdriver, a wrench, a welding tool, a crowbar, wire cutters, cable coil, and a multi-tool. These are very important items to use for construction and deconstruction, as I'll be today showing you. So why don't we start for the first thing is how to build a wall. That's pretty simple, right? So what we're going to do is click on the metal. It's going to be in our hand, and we're going to click on the metal that's in our hand. It'll open this little menu, and it shows quite a few things to build. These are very simple things. Wheelchair bed. These ones are just one item clicks. I can just create them like that. And then you can, well, rotate them how much you like, but as you can see they're just simple building things you can just click on. Yeah, so a wall. So as you see here it says wall girders. That is not a full wall, but as you can see here in a second it takes a little bit for us to construct it. There you go, that's a wall girder right there. And that doesn't really look like our regular wall, so what we're going to do is click on the wall with our metal and then start adding the plating. And bam, you got a wall right there pretty quick. And let's see here. Let's see if we can make a reinforced wall. With reinforced plat steel. You start reinforcing the girder. It takes a little bit longer, but reinforced walls will take 2 plat steel for you. And would you look at that? That is a reinforced wall. Wow, walls are so difficult. But yeah, these are pretty good if you, I don't know what you're gonna do with that, making walls, but yeah, we'll just leave that there. Another pretty basic general thing you might be building in the sometime future in playing on Paradise Station is probably a table. But tables recently changed. I don't know recently, but they require metal rods. So we have some metal rods right here, but if you ever want to create some metal rods, you just go on the metal click thing and then scroll down to metal rods, and you can create 2 for each sheet, so it goes up to 50, or, well, as much as you ever want. So what we're going to do is take our metal rods, click on them, and create a table frame. And this one can either be constructed with glass or metal. And you can't use plat steel. Oh, I guess you can. Oh yeah, reinforced table, sorry. Yep, that's a reinforced table. One more table up. Here's your 3 types of tables right there. And I'm losing a little bit of space, but we're going to deconstruct everything here so I can tell you how to do it. But here's the 3 things right here. So another interesting item you could probably make with these 5 key items here is a window, actually. So if you combine metal rods with glass, it creates reinforced glass. And this can be used to make more stronger windows compared to a regular glass window. So let's see here. We're going to do directional window. There you go. That's a regular window right there. And then you got your directional reinforce. So let's see how many hits it takes with a combat knife to break the regular glass window. 2. Takes 5. Wow. So it's a bit more stronger. If you want to test other things with windows as well, you can make plasma tile windows or something. but we're not going to go into that. We're just going to use the general consensus here. So windows can be made such as that, and you can also rotate a window by right-clicking it and rotate window clockwise or counterclockwise. I am doing a private server right now, that's why I have so many different tabs and that you probably won't see. But yep, you can rotate it, and one way to secure, because you're going to need to secure your window or else you can just move it like this, is to screw drive the window, and this will fasten it to the floor and you can't move it anymore. Reinforced windows are a bit more complex for securing. So we're going to use the screwdriver, crowbar, and screwdriver again. And then it's fully secured, it won't be moving anywhere. And another, I guess, interesting thing you can make with glass and wire is put it together and you get a wired glass tile. And I did it for so long, I had this issue for so long where I couldn't remember how to make it, but you have to have a floor tile. And you can pick a floor tile, it's right next to the metal rods, floor tiles. Click on the wired glass tile with the metal tile. Or, sorry, it's metal, my bad. And yeah, and it's called a light tile, so if you put that on the ground, it glows. It's a source of light, so that's pretty interesting. It's pretty good against shadowlings, but they can just open it. And another cool thing you can do with light floors is put a multi-tool on it. It can change colors. Nice. Okay. So these are some pretty common constructions you can do. And another big one would probably be closet. Closets are pretty important because you can drag them around. And yeah, so we're going to deconstruct all of these items. So why don't we start with the couch first, since that was the first thing we built, I believe. So the only thing you need to use to deconstruct a sofa is a wrench. You just click on it, and you get your metal back. So that's how you deconstruct that. And reinforce windows. You're going to have to do the same thing. How you set it, you have to use a screwdriver. You can fasten it. Crowbar, you pry it out of the frame. And screwdriver back, you unfasten it. And then use the wrench. And it deconstructs the window. And let's do the table here. To use a wrench on the table as well. Wrench is pretty important for deconstructing. And you get your metal and rods back. So walls are a bit more tricky. What you're going to need to have is a welding helmet, because when you use your welding tool, you'll go, as you can see here, let's see. You go blind. Your eyes burn. So the main thing you want to use is a welding helmet, and just go up here on the top left and do toggle welding helmet, and it'll go over your face, so protect your face from any sorts of bright flashes. This also works against the little hand flashes that can flash you. So what we're going to use is the welding tool on the wall. It takes a little bit for it to deconstruct. And you get your girders. Here's your metal tile. Put those back. You can take off the helmet and then use the wrench on the girder. But also one thing you can use before you can wrench it is to dislodge the girder. That means that you can move it around like this, and you can even put the metal back on the false wall. And if you click on it with an open hand, it opens and closes, so you can make a little hidden area surrounded with these. But yeah. So let's just break that. Use it when a false wall is like that. It doesn't take time to deconstruct. So we can wrench it back and secure the girder to deconstruct. So, reinforced walls are a bit more difficult, excuse me, to deconstruct since they require a larger material here, flat steel, or stronger. So what you're going to need to do first is to use a wider wire cutter on the reinforced wall. Cuts the outer grill, use the screwdriver. And then you use your welder, and it starts cutting through the metal cover of it. This one will take quite a good bit actually to get rid of. And use the crowbar on it as I'm struggling to pry off the cover I mean. Very difficult process. Good thing I'm not him. And then use your wrench. Use the welder again. Crowbar it again. And then you got rid of your flat steel covers here. So what we're going to need to use is, that's not it. Make sure you're always in help tab when you're trying to deconstruct, because you might actually hit something like that. So I use the screwdriver and the wire cutters to get rid of the reinforced part of the girder. Then just use your wrench. And that is deconstructing walls, constructing walls, as well as windows. And also, in order to deconstruct reinforced tables, you have to use the welder on your table. This is different because it's reinforced with flat steel. And wrench it. The welder weakens the table and deconstructs it. Same thing with regular glass tables. Yep, and so that's pretty much a basic gist of construction. You'll need a full list of tool belt with all these items and a welding helmet so you don't go blind. And we're going to go on to how to hack. And yeah, that's a pretty important role. Well, not a role, sorry. It's a pretty important concept in Space Station 13 because if you're an antagonist, you might need to hack into something to get through. So why don't we start with the door? The door is the main thing you're going to be using. So first thing you want to use is your screwdriver. And one important thing is you're going to need a set of real insulated gloves that say this here. There's a few of them in Maine that have the same name, but they're not real gloves. So just make sure you have the right gloves or else you're going to get shocked, maybe. So one big thing you want to know about this is that it has cut and pulse. Cutting a wire is a bit more permanent, I guess, when you're trying to do that on a door. So I would always recommend use a multi-tool when you're hacking your door because it's temporary, and when you find your correct wire you want to cut, you can just cut it. So let's just go through here. It's randomized every round, so you have to figure out what wires do what. Door bolts will determine if you can open or close it when you have the correct ID. And the lights are, the lights for the bolts. The test light is a very important thing of hacking. If it's off and the door's powered, you can use a crowbar on the door and it'll open. The AI controlled, these other ones aren't really that important for hacking, but let's just test them here. I pulse the orange wire and these two shut off as well as those. That one was say trying to open the door with that pulse. It does nothing. This is the test wire. So let's see here. You put a crowbar on the door and it opens. But this is only temporary, so you don't want to cut that wire. But we're going to keep going here. And that's the navy bolt. That's the bolt door. So now I can't open the door anymore because it's bolted. Even though it doesn't have the test bolt lights. It should be somewhere in here. Must have turned them off. Anyways. So now I know the cyan wire. If I didn't have access to this door, I could pulse the cyan wire, use a crowbar, and open it. And then bolt with a pulse of the navy wire as well, and it's closed. So if you ever want to do something cheeky, pulse the cyan. And there you go. That's your, as I said, it's randomized. So you'll have to figure out what wire does the test wire, which is the one where you can crowbar it open, or the bolt wire. So also another interesting thing you can do is screwdriver security cameras and use a wire cutter on them, and you can deactivate the cameras. So if you ever have an AI that doesn't really, you feel is stalking you, you can always cut those wires. But security will not like you doing any of these two things I've shown you, such as bolting open doors and cutting wires. So I highly suggest you don't do that if you don't want to get arrested. And another interesting thing you can do is screwdriver an APC, and it opens this panel here, and what you have to figure out is the locked one right here. Uh-oh, looks like I pulsed the wrong wire. So it shut all the power off in the area. So what you need to do to fix this is to cut it and then mend it, and then it fixes itself. Try that one. Same thing. And I would have got shocked there if I didn't have gloves. And the green one is the lock. So now it's unlocked. So now I can disengage the cover lock of the APC. And now, if I wanted to change this battery out of this APC, I can crowbar it, and boom. Just rip the battery out of the APC. So there you go. That's how you hack a APC. It's the same thing with doors. You just have to find the unlocked, and if it needs a battery change, you can just take the battery out. One more thing I forgot to show you is how to build consoles or computers. So here's a computer frame. You scroll down on the metal. Use a a wrench on the computer, and then it'll secure it. To add some wiring. Oh, we need a computer board. There you go. That's one right there. It's on the computer, and then you have to screwdriver that down, and then add some wire. Cable coil, sorry. And then some glass. 2 sheets of glass, and then just screwdriver, and there's your computer. So we're gonna go take a little trip actually to an area that has other things, so I can show you how to build a machine. See, where is it? Ow. There it is, an autoloth. So what we're going to do now is do the metal tiles here. Set metal, yeah. Click on machine frame. You do not need to wrench this one down. If you wrench it, it'll deconstruct it. Like this, see? So don't use a wrench in a machine. Next thing you want to use is wires. And then put your autoloth board in. And then you have to examine it. This requires 3 matter bins, 1 micromanipulator, and 1 console screen. This will, I don't have those items on me, but if you get them from the autoloth here, you can make it into a machine. But after you put these required items in there, you can just screwdriver it and it works. And let's see what I'm forgetting here for some gray titers. I think that's just about everything. I don't know what else you'd really need to know. Oh. Forgot to repulse that bolt. Anyways, I'm not really good at engineering, so unfortunately I cannot teach you really how to set up the engine. I have to figure that out for myself. But yeah, let's just for example, the bolts are on the same on every door, but it's just randomized for each round. You see that? It does not work with the welding helmet down. And yeah. So if you have any other questions about basic construction, I can probably help you with. But just remember that you need to have all these tools with you in order to deconstruct just about everything. So just in case you have any questions, I usually am able to respond, but if I don't know, I'll let you know. So I might do some advanced construction later, but this has just been a pretty quick guide on how to construct, deconstruct. So hopefully you learned something. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.